All right, we live.
Okay. All right. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Wadash.
Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Yeah. Now, in case the brother Aharon happens to so see this, Salak, if I took your thunder or, your lesson, but something that brothers was going into, I think it was not yesterday, but the day before. Basically, Aharon pretty much came up with something. He wanted to captivate or capture, the return of Yahawashi. And, even when you watch, certain movies, like let's say you watch like Avengers is one movie that comes to mind. Anytime the main villain or whatever pulls up, it's like the aura, the presence, or the feeling of that villain or whoever the antagonist coming up. You can feel a change, right? Like the wind start guzzling. Like if you watch the Avengers, what was it, Infinity War, when Thanos came to get the last Infinity Stone from what was his name, Vision. You could see like all the Avengers could tell like something was going on, like the wind started gustling. They started looking around like this, like what's going on. They could feel that something was different. And then Thanos just pulled up through the portal, and then you play the dramatic music, the dun dun, and then Hulk's like Cap, that's him. And then everybody tries to fight him, and then pretty much lost. So that's pretty much Lord's willing. What we want to capture is pretty much when Yahushua returns, what it's gonna be like, the energy, the atmosphere, and things like that, right?
That's right. So I got Second Ezra 13. You want me to start from the top?
Yeah.
All right, this is the book of Second Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Now, what man is that? That man is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which is Yahawashi. If I'm not mistaken, in Revelation, I'll get it real quick. I think it's Revelation 1 and 7. Yep. This is Revelation 1 and 7. It says, "Behold, I'm sorry. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Aman." So when Yahushua returns, what? Everybody's gonna see him. This is gonna be that day. It's the same thing. Like think about like wrestling, right? When your favorite like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Goldberg comes in, or what you call it,
Mm-hmm.
comes through, and they have that hour where they come through and they have the music playing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold's theme music comes on, the cracking of the bottles,
You
whatever they
hear the
do.
glass break?
Right. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much that same thing. Everybody's gonna say it's like, yo, who the hell is that? But everybody's gonna know who it is. Everybody's gonna see him the same way when those wrestlers come through the entrance, all eyes is on them. So it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. All eyes is gonna be on your house shot when he returns.
That's right.
And the clouds is pretty much the chariots, what the world calls UFOs.
Yep. And it's spiritual, bro. Check this out. This is a quick point. I opened this up here because when you actually look at the KJV, the actual book itself,
Mm-hmm.
in the margin here, it mentions the word for thousands of heaven. It says clouds.
Mm.
So it shows you that the thousands of heaven, we know, is obviously talking about the angels, but showing you that the clouds are synonymous with the angels, which are those chariots.
Right. Going back to Ezekiel, the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's right.
Nice.
Are you want me to read on?
Yeah.
It says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him.
Right. So you see the correlation between John the Revelator and what Ezra is saying. They're pretty much saying the same thing. One was saying it during the Roman Empire, but one was saying it, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ezra was like Babylon to the Persian Empire, if I'm not mistaken. I know for sure the Persian Empire, right? So here it is. Why is it they're having the same thing, but they're saying it in different ways, slightly different ways? Because what it all shows you what that they all had the same vision, the same prophecy. They just spoke it in different ways or in their ways that they had at the time.
That's right.
So the same way John said, "Oh, all eyes shall, wail because of him." Well, Ezra is saying the same thing. Everybody that sees him is going to tremble, be afraid.
Mhm.
Some people not gonna know why, like who the hell is this, but some gonna know, like, oh snap, that's who those men were talking about. It's him, right? Everybody like to say I'm him. Well, pretty much when Yahawashi returns, he's gonna have that I'm him moment. Like, yeah, I'm him, the one that y'all was hearing about, that y'all was all saying, oh, he ain't coming back, Sky Daddy. Yeah, I'm him.
Yeah, they say that like the best ball players like he's him or he's Himothy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
like or another thing Jake likes to say, I'm really like that. You might think you like that, but I'm really like that. You know, because Jake has got a lot of pride and ego. You know, Jake always wants to be the shit, but who's really gonna be the man? Yahawashi. I'll read on.
hmm
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice.
right. So when it says the voice, it's not like Yahawashi is literally gonna spit fire out of his mouth, but no, that's gonna be what, the chariot,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because what it says, whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burned that heard his voice, which is going to be pretty much the laser beams. Now, some things I'll say, I speak as a man. I think when Yahushua returns, I don't really think he's going to do much talking. That's me speaking as a man. I could be very much wrong, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he's really going to say much. I think it's really going to, because remember, this is all going to happen in 1 hour. This is going to be quick.
Right.
So I don't think he's really going to have much to say. It's like, listen, some of y'all already know what it is. Y'all, like you were saying, I'm really like that. I'm him. So it's like, I'm not coming here to talk. I'm not coming here to play. I'm coming here to just take y'all out. Quick, easy, deliver my people, destroy y'all, and we
Right.
out. And we setting up the kingdom.
Yeah. Hey, brother, that makes sense. I mean, because I believe that he said what he had to say pretty much back 2,000 years ago,
And through us.
and through us, he speak beautiful. Yep, exactly. So he's still letting them have it, letting them know what it is, and then when the time comes, like when the dudes get in the ring, like they might talk shit, but when the fight comes, it's like when it goes down, it's just they're gonna be swinging. You know, when it's time to blaze, it's time to blaze, and that's Yahweh Shah's coming to blaze, and nobody's gonna be able to step toe to toe with him. And it says all they burnt that heard his voice,
Right. So
like as the
Slakia,
earth. Yeah, go
my
ahead, bro.
bad, sorry. So again, that's basically going into the laser beams from the chariots. Now, whether Yahushua actually says fire and then, that maybe that could happen, but I don't really think he might just look at an angel like Michael and back, yo, just give that look and be like, okay, all right,
Hmm.
shoot.
Right, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Right. See, so that fire is coming on earth for those people that believe, oh, hell and all that things. No, hell is a fictional place. There is no such thing as a place where you burn for eternity. Yahushua said, what? I am come to set fire on the earth, not a place where you go in another dimension and burn for eternity. And not to get sidetracked, but when you go into that whole hell thing, think of the first death, right? Because this one's called the second death. The first death was by water. If
Hmm.
there's another place where you get judged or whatever for eternity, why did the Lord bring judgment upon the earth via the water? Like, think about it. When you go to court or whatever, you don't get judged twice. They give you your sentencing, and then what? They send you off to prison. That's it.
That's right. That's right. Read. You want me to read on?
Yeah, Slocky.
And after this, I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right. So pretty much, remember, during this time, Yahushua is going to return during World War III. So let's, imagine it. You're going to have all these other nations fighting against each other, right? They're going to be destroying each other, things like that. There's already going to be devastation. We already know America's going to be in a devastating spot and all that. So here it is. It's like, yo, then Yahushua comes in, however that's going to be, however he cracks them, the skies and all that, whether, you see a rip, like a dimensional rip happen in the, what you call it, in the sky or whatever, or he just pops up out of, well, I don't want to say pops up out of nowhere, but kind of just, comes down through, through the heavens or whatever. Right. But you got to imagine that, envision that, right? You already have war going on. You have men, all this, you have bombs going on, all these explosions and all that. And then think about it. Remember, the chariot is the vehicles of heaven. So think of it like your car. Your car, when you pull up, it makes a sound. So man, this is a big thing as we're gonna go into because Ezra says that he said he couldn't see the end of this mountain. So when Yahawashi comes up, I don't think it's gonna be all quiet and things like that. I think the chariot is gonna make an ominous sound. Now, what sound that could be, I don't know. But let's just say
Mhm.
like, ominous humming sound, just because remember, all
Yeah.
eyes is gonna see him. So every like I gave the example with with like the wrestlers, they have their theme music. Let's just say, for an example, the theme music of Yahushua coming is the ominous sound of that chariot coming. That's gonna get everybody's attention. It's gonna
Mm.
be bright. It's gonna be loud, and it's gonna be this big thing that everybody sees. So you're just gonna be like, "Yo, what the hell is that?" And you're just gonna see this ominous sound. And just like what do you call it? The movie Independence Day, when
Mhm.
those chariots pulled up, and you just see like the shadow of it passing over them, and what you see like the darkness coming over. So that's the same thing. Like when Yahweh Shai comes, they're just gonna be fighting, then they're just gonna be like, and you're just gonna see the shadow just go past over them. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Mhm. Yep. Absolutely. It might be have that type of like vibration to where it makes the whole earth might,
Right. The
speaking
earth
as a
kind of
man,
might
but the
rumble.
whole earth could easily tremble.
Yeah.
Whatever the Lord wants to happen is going to happen. So if He wants the earth, is what the Scripture says that it's going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. You know, dealing with when the missiles hit. But even leading up to that, I could see, that the Lord coming up, it's going to be, like the brother said, it's going to be cinematic. It's going to be motion picture shit, but beyond anything they can even put in the movie.
Right, because think about it, even when you pull up with your car kind of shakes the ground a little bit too, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you're coming at a certain speed and then stop. Right,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can even feel it with them motorcycles or like bigger car vehicles like trucks and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
how much when this vehicle comes into the earth, like you said, like you were saying, the earth very well could shake a little bit and tremble and things like that. Not just the people, but even the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
going back to
it said that everything that was under all the things trembled that were seen under him. So I mean, all the things trembled. It wasn't. That's not even just talking about people. So the whole entire creation, the fish in the sea, everything's going to tremble at his coming. So either way, they're going to shake.
just to go back to the fifth verse for that given that illustration. So again, you're gonna have these armies fighting against each other, and then what when they see Yahushai, you already know that the Lord's gonna put the spirit on them to like it says, I believe it's the next verse,
Mm-hmm.
or we can continue because eventually it's gonna say they're gonna try to fight against him. But it
Yep.
says to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So they're gonna turn from fighting one another, right? Already devastation is happening, the war and all that. However many men is left, and now they're gonna see Haushai, and they're gonna say, "Oh, let's take him down."
Mm-hmm. And remember, Ronald Reagan had that statement where he said that basically, if there was a like he was meditating, thinking about how if there was a threat, an extraterrestrial threat that could bring doom to the whole planet, that all of the nations would come together. They would put aside their differences in order to combat it. You know, so he very well may have read this because that's exactly what this is saying. But you're not going to be able to prevail. In his mind, they're going to be a kumbaya moment like Independence Day, and they're going to somehow fight. The F-16s are going to come, and they're going to somehow maneuver and dodge the chariot beams and
Yeah,
come through and drop a missile and destroy the fathership. Like, come on, man.
right. Give the fathership, or what was it, a cold or whatever
Yeah,
they did in the movie. Yeah, no,
like, come on, man. But yeah, reading on it says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it."
right. And that's that chariot. See, the chariot can be likened on, or at least in this vision, is likened unto a mountain, and a mountain is a huge thing. But you could continue.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
So Ezra couldn't see the end of where this what you call it, the end of the chariot. Pretty much it was so huge that pretty much it covered the whole earth. If I'm not mistaken, I remember there was a video that came out of like the brother Aharon, even when we're talking about was mentioned, I remember that pretty much there was like a showing of the space and how there was like a pretty much a chariot that had like an X like spinning above it or whatever, and it showed that was way bigger than the Earth. If I had that video or whatever, I would show it, but I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, they already showed, they had satellite images of chariots that were bigger than the sun.
Mm.
And how many times bigger than the earth is the sun? You know, like, and space is huge. So, you know, the Lord, hey, man, this is why, like, we really just need to be changed. Because in our mortal, like, in these mortal bodies, it's really hard to even conceive of the majesty and the greatness, the magnitude of the power of the Lord. It's really like mind-boggling. Like, you could bug yourself out if you think about it too much, you know. But we just know that He's coming with some far out power that has never been witnessed on this earth.
Right.
You know.
And my bad. Going back to the point where like the wrestlers, them wrestlers will sometimes wear certain outfits or whatever. So again, even the size of the chat could show you, like, look, the Lord wants everybody to see this. Like, this is the Lord's moment. This is His day. This is where He gets to get His glory, gets to show off. So it's like, yo, I want everybody to see me. I want everybody to see what I pull up in. Same as Jake, right? Jake likes to wear have a nice car, pull up in it, right? Everybody see it. Well, the Lord's gonna pull up in a nice vehicle that everybody can see, and you're not gonna be able to see the end of it. Like, yo, where's the end of this thing at? It's like, nah, there is no end, pretty much. That's how big it is.
Sheesh, man. Damn. Esau, you fucked up. You fucked up bad. Reading on, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
See, so like you mentioned, what was that President Ronald Reagan? What if we had an extraterrestrial threat? Will we not put our differences aside and fight against it? So hey, what he said was prophetic because it was written. So all these the armies, when they're fighting against each other, they're gonna turn to Yahawashi. They're gonna see him, but what the Lord is gonna put the spirit on them to fight, right? And matter of fact, there's even that even goes back to the law. Let me see if I can find that. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
while since I got that. I think it's is it Leviticus 20 or is it Deuteronomy 20? I can't remember.
Oh, you talking about the law where like they have to bow if they bow down and they become tributaries?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah,
Deuteronomy 20.
yeah. All right, so this is why the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight. Because seeing something like that, imagine that, and it's not just going to be your house shot chariot; it's going to be the other chariots as well and things like that. So it's like, yo, you would be afraid. You wouldn't want to fight that. But
Mm-hmm.
remember, the Lord needs them to fight, right? This is the Lord's day. It's like you were saying, when it's time, when you hear a certain person talking smack this entire time, you're not gonna want to hit them and say, "Oh, no, 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 chill. I'm sorry. No, no, no. You was talking all this smack, saying all this stuff. We done killed my people, hurt my prophets, did all this type of stuff, and now you want to be like, yo, chill. We give up. You got it. No, 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 no. You're gonna have to get this beat down. You're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to.
Yep. There comes a time where like we already passed words. Now it's time for actions.
Right now,
It's
you
time for
have to
me to
feel.
work. So like it, bro.
No, my bad. But I was gonna say you pretty much have to feel like if I just let you go, you gotta stand my anger.
Right. You got to feel him. He's going. The Lord is going to make you feel His rage, His wrath. That's why He said they're going to drink of that cup.
Right, right, right. Thou who altogether shall be unpunished. No, thou shalt surely drink. So it's almost like the Lord saying, "Nah, you're gonna drink this."
Yeah,
There's no,
like put the cup to your mouth right here, nigga.
yeah.
Drink this shit. Like you try to resist. No, no, nope, nope, nope. Drink that shit. Yeah, man.
Oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this goes back to the law. What we would do if we were to conquer another city. So this is Deuteronomy. I'll start verse 10. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 10. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And if it shall be, if it make thee an answer of peace. So look. we want to go to war. We want to, we gonna take y'all out, but we offer peace. If y'all submit unto us, cool.
Mhm.
And if the city be like, all right, cool, we submit unto you, all right, chill. Right? And open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. So look, if we offer you peace, you be like, all right, chill, we bow down to you, we don't want the smoke. All right, cool. We're not savages, right? We're not
Right.
like Esau, how Esau came here over here and what God was peaceable unto you, but then you start killing them off. No, we not like that.
Mhm.
Right? Even going back to the story with Rahab, the harlot, what happened? When she hid the spies and all that, what happened? He was like, all right, we made an agreement with her. All the
Right.
people that is in your house and things like that, make sure that your father, your mother, your brother, sister is in your crib. And like, look, when we take down the city, you gonna be straight. The city gonna be destroying everybody else, but you gonna be all right. And they
Mhm.
honored that.
Mhm. That's right. You're gonna have those examples amongst the heathen, of men and women that there's gonna be a certain level of mercy, of course, but the Lord is merciful. So like if you bless us and you acknowledge our place, as Israel, as the top nation, and you are willing to bow down, and we're, like the brother said, we're not savages. We're gonna rule with class. We're gonna rule with civility. But yeah, if you don't, you know what's on the other side of it.
Right. Imagine you just come here and just slaughtering people. It's like, yo, we submit unto you, chill, chill. And it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, come on, you see they're not fighting no more. Even
Hmm.
sometimes when you watch fights, when you see that the person's no longer fighting no more, you just beating the hell out of the person. It's like, yo, chill out, relax. Again, like I said, we're not savages.
That's that UFC shit. Like sometimes the dude, you clearly see the dude's out, and they come with the hammer fist, like, bro, he's gone. Like, what do you want? But they have they're in that's a savage sport. That's a gladiator sport, and this is Rome all over again. But sometimes it'd be like, all right, bro. And the ref be sleeping sometimes. The ref ain't even like, what fucking planet was he on? This dude is getting his face bashed in, and then the ref comes in. The dude already got CTE now, though. You know, it's crazy, man. But yeah, we're not going to be like that. We're going to have, if we're going to be balanced and fair about it. If you bow down, then yeah, you're going to become tributaries, you become servants. Like I remember the Gibeonites, right?
Mm-hmm.
They supplanted their way into it a little bit, but ultimately, what happened? They ended up being what, drawers of water and hewers of wood. So it's basically a servitude. Those are things that servants do.
We
And
had
so,
to honor our word.
yeah,
Some
and
Israel wanted to be like, yo, they want to kill him, but Joshua's like, now we got to honor our word that we said. Like, look, they're gonna be, no, nothing against them.
that's right. That's right, because that shows the Lord's people having integrity, and it makes us more royal and honorable when we have a certain code of conduct to how we do things. We're not just out here. We're not just going to be slaying genocide the whole world, and that's it. It's going to be balance to it, and it shows you how the Lord takes that serious. Because I believe when I think it was Saul, he had violated the Gibeonites in some way, right?
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah, and basically David took that deadly serious, right? I mean, I believe David brought a judgment upon them for what had happened, because he knew, like, all right, we made an agreement with you guys. We made an agreement with these people, and we had to hold to it. So you can't just make statements and then fall back on it, because then you're bringing shame to the Lord at the end of the day by doing that. you know. But it goes. That just shows the severity, because you would think, oh, they're just some heathens, man. We broke the rules with them. Fuck it, who cares? But it shows the Lord is like, no. If you make an agreement, even if they are heathens, you still have to hold true to what you have to hold true to your word, and that shows the integrity of the Heavenly Father and His Son and His people, how we're supposed to conduct ourselves.
Um,
Yeah, you got it though.
Going back to Deuteronomy 20 and chapter 20, verse 12, it says, and if it will make, I'm sorry, and if it will make no peace with thee, but it will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege. Then thou shalt besiege it. So that's why going back to Second Ezra's, when it says, and we're afraid and yet there's fight. the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight. Why? So
Mhm.
that way he can be justified in taking them down. If they come peaceable, then it's like, well, y'all can't, y'all peaceable. So it's like I can't, whoop y'all ass. But no, if y'all fight, now it's like you shoot a missile at me. It's like, oh, you shot. See, because remember when your house shot comes up, when you read it, he doesn't do anything to nobody. He just pulls up and everybody sees him. But then
Mhm.
what multitude sees him is like, let's fight against him. They probably going, just you know, using imagination here. Let's just say the Lord puts a spirit angel goes and puts a spirit on a dude to shoot a missile or something.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, see, I just came here peaceful. I just pulled up. I came here to save my people, but you shot at me. So now we got problems. See, now
Mhm.
I got to come against you now.
Mhm. And look how the Lord is doing it. He's having them destroy themselves, really, because the chariot being this is going to be like insult to injury because they're already going to be through. But the main destruction is coming from the ICBMs. So on top of it, the Lord is like, well, I'm coming here to save my people. And we already know he's going to put a foot in their ass because it's all prophesied. But the fact that they're going to still resist and come against him, well, is going to make it even all the more sweeter, putting that foot in their ass sideways.
Mhm.
But yeah,
We can go back to
that was
second.
it on that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now back in Second Ezra's 13.
What?
Second Ezra's 13, and we were up to verse 8.
Yeah.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
That's the armies again. Basically, the Lord's going to put the spirit on them to pretty much turn, look at him, see him, even though they're going to be afraid, and still going to fight against him.
That's right. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Mhm. Yep, we continue.
Yep. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Right, and that's again going into the Lord. It's not going to be literal, like he's going to shoot out fire out of his mouth or anything like that. That's talking about the chariot. Even going back to like again the movie Independence Day, when the first time the pretty much the UFO, but the chariot in the movie shot down a laser beam. What happened? Think of it just like your actual mouth. The bottom, like the bottom center of it, what started opening up, and then the laser beam came out and it started shooting that green laser beam down at the earth, and then what everything turned into fire. So it's not actually the Lord's actually gonna shoot fire out of his mouth or shoot sparks and tempests. No, it's talking about the chariot. However, wherever that I don't even know what to call that, but
Mechanism.
yeah, may be on the chariot. Because even sometimes they show you that in space movies and things like that. Sometimes the chariot will shoot things from the sides or like the front or whatever. So wherever it may be, that mechanism, whatever, is going to open up and it's going to shoot the fire at the army. It's not the Lord Himself. Not saying that He can't do that, but again, why do that when you have the vehicle that can do that?
Right. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
So imagine this, right? Let's actually imagine this. Think of it like again, pretty much you have an army. Think of any army movie you may have seen where you have soldiers shooting at each other, things like that. Then the Lord pops up, right? The thunder, the lightning, the ominous sound, the chariot come up, something like that, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have all the angels in the chariots as well pulling up. You can see them and everything. And then again, somebody shoots a missile or something at Yahawashi or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, well, you shot at us. We got to fire back. So then after that, what? They shoot the mechanism, whatever, opens up, shoots that laser beam, whatever, and just destroys everything quickly. from having this entire numerous army, right? Because it's gonna be like, if I'm not mistaken, forgot where it is in the scriptures. It may be Joel, but multitudes. If I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. So it's gonna be a lot. All right, the army is gonna be vast. 'Cause it's not just gonna be America. It's gonna be these other nations as well fighting against each other. They're all gonna turn to Yahawashi. So here it is. You have this vast army here, all these men, but then just like that, like Ezra says, they go from being this vast multitude of troops to just nothing but smoke. Just like again in Independence Day, what happened? You had everything was fine, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that was New York City where it attacked. Everything was fine, but then what happened? Once it shot that laser beam down, it was just nothing but just. Let me see if I can find that picture, just to give an illustration. Hold on, let me see real.
Devastation.
Could you find that picture in
Yeah,
there?
I know what you're looking for.
It was like it left like a ring around it of just smoke and fire. But here it is. What at one point before that, what you had nothing but what New York City, right? So think of that same thing like with the troops. You had here troops, tanks, all this type of stuff. But then after that laser beam hit, you have nothing but smoke, bones, ash of the dead bodies.
Hmm. So there you go.
It's not that exactly, but I remember.
That's a good one though.
Yeah, but there was one specifically. It left like a ring of fire.
This one,
No, not that one. It's like
but
it shows
that's
the
kind of
act.
dope too.
But that's essentially what Ezra saw, pretty much.
Ooh, that's fire, man. You can see
That's
that.
what Ezra saw.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it
Yep.
playing.
Yep. Look at that. Took took probably years to make that building, and boom, in a split second, gone. Man, I can't wait to see this, man. This is gonna be glorious, man. All this thing that the so-called white man built up, Esau, Edom, the Lord, he said that they will build, but I will throw down. You know, if I could grab that actually too.
Hmm.
But look at this, man. I mean, and that's just a Hollywood depiction, but I mean, it's gonna be some along those lines because ultimately, who's the one who put the spirit on them to put that in the movie? The Lord did. You see? Yeah, let me grab that real quick. Um, what's that? Malachi?
And it's funny thing. I was watching the movie the other day too.
Oh, you was watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's a great movie, man. This is Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, which is the so called white man, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Right? So they shall build, but I will throw down. And then they built a lot. They're talking about a new skyscraper in Oklahoma that's supposed to be the biggest one in the whole country, in OKC. But what is that? That's all the exercise of futility. That's just vain. It's all empty because they're building just to be destroyed. The Lord is having them build it just so He has something to destroy when He comes back. See, so you're in a trick bag. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. See, the people, because I've seen some scoffers. They'll say, "Well, it's only talking about Esau. It's not talking about the whole nation." Well, why does it say the people? The people. It doesn't say the person. It says the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. So that's part of the Lord. The main reason the Lord is coming is to save His people and to destroy Edom, to destroy the nation of Edom, His worst enemy. Yep. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. There you have it. He's going to be magnified by that judgment. Yeah, you got it, brother. You want me to go back to 2nd Ezra 13?
Yep.
All
But
right.
yeah, that picture right there is a nice illustration of. again, what's going to happen to the armies, but also here in America too.
Yep.
Could read about that, and we're not going to get it maybe another day. But Joel, the second chapter,
Hmm.
that scene right there, just to get into it, Lord's willing could do a video on it, but that scene right there, what you have right there with the picture, is pretty much what Joel saw.
Hmm. That's right. Back in 2nd Ezra 13 and 12, afterward I saw the man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude.
Right, which is the elect. Again, Yahawashi mentioned that. Matthew 24 and 30, he shall gather his elect from the four corners of the earth. But we
Yep.
could jump to verse 15 just to get, oh yeah, you got to show it on the screen, by the way.
Oh, Salakia. There we go.
Even though I do want it there, but
Nah, yeah. We showed it. We showed enough of it. All right, so 2nd Ezra is 13 and 15. Shew me now yet the interpretation of this dream.
right. So Ezra wants to understand what the hell was that? Like, what was going on there? What did I see?
For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind.
Mm.
For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them and to those that are left behind.
See, so this is happening in the latter days, right? So Ezra had a vision, although he was during, if I'm not mistaken, I know for sure the Persian Empire, but here it is, he had a vision of the latter days all the way back to the Persian Empire. And yet these things did not happen as of yet.
Yep. It says, therefore are they come into great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare. Yet is it easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world and not to see the things that happen in the last days? And he answered unto me and said, the interpretation of the vision shall I shew thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself. They
Hold
that
on.
be fallen into
Uh,
danger. You was gonna say something?
my-
Go ahead, bro. Are you just gonna say something?
yeah, hold on. Go to verse 25, Salakia.
Okay, I got you. This
My
is
bad.
the meaning of the vision. Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea, the same is he whom the Most High, whom God the Highest hath kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature.
Which that is Yahawashi.
Yep.
Right? He's gonna the creature is what? The elect.
Yep. And he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation.
So he's
Behold,
breaking down to him pretty much what he saw.
yep. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
Right. So this is going to catch people off guard. People are not going to expect the return of the Lord, although they're being told it. They're in their own little world where they think that things are going to continue on forever.
The astonishment, isn't that going to be a sight to see? The looks on these people's faces when the Lord pulls up. That's part of the joy of it. That's part of the glory. Just the wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter.
The strangeness of the salvation, right?
Yep. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
So the spiritual realm is going to come. Because here it is, you guys are fighting all this, right? Think of it like, again, giving the example of, wrestling, like a Royal Rumble. Here it is, everybody fighting in the Royal Rumble, all that. You got 20, let's say a 19-man Royal Rumble. But here this one dude wasn't invited. It's like, no, I want to be a part of this. So he pulls out, he comes out into the ring and starts beating everybody up. And that's pretty much Yahawashi. Right? I can't remember exactly, but I think there was a scene where that happened with Stone Cold. There was a Royal Rumble, and Stone Cold came out from the back and started just beating everybody up. That's pretty much Yahawashi. It's like, oh, I see all y'all fighting. Y'all didn't invite me. I want to be a part of this too. Is not Yahawashi like his father, a man of war? The heavenly father is a man of war. So it's like, I see y'all trying to have the ultimate war. Let me get a piece of this. I want to show y'all what war really is about.
Right. Yeah, that Royal Rumble, when that glass broke and he came out, he started giving everybody a Stone Cold Stunner. He
Yeah.
was handing out a can of ass whooping to everybody. Yep. But reading on, it says, oh, where was we at? Okay, 32. And the
Yeah.
time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I shew thee before, and then shall my son be declared. Woo!
See? So Yahawashi was written of way before.
Mm-hmm. My son be declared. But the OT only guys, that's why they had to throw out the whole Apocrypha. I thought that was really technically part of the Old Testament originally, right?
Yeah. Essentially Ezra would be Old Testament. Yeah.
Right. But now Ezra don't count because he mentioned the son. So anything they mention the son goes against their weak ass understanding of the Holy Scriptures.
But Yahawashi mentioned that what? Moses spoke of him. And I believe
Yeah.
that's in Deuteronomy. I always forget what that precept is, but I know it's in Deuteronomy. He
Mm-hmm.
basically told the multitude, you would have believed in me if you believed Moses.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. I believe it might be Deuteronomy 18. I could be
Is
mistaken. See if I
always
can grab it real quick. Let's see. Uh, no, it's all good. I'm trying to think of where it is. How does the scripture go again?
see, that's what I always forget. Man, we
Right.
ain't gotta get it. We could just
Nah, I know it's just gonna bother me until I find. You know how it is with that one precept. But yeah, Lord, hey, if the Lord wants to, it'll pop into our heads. But um, yeah, let's read on. It says, "And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them willing to come, and to overcome him by fighting."
oh, Salakia, for verse 33, when it says, and when all the people shall hear his voice, it's not meaning like Yahushua again is going to say something. Again, what? It's going to be the sound of that chariot that when it comes, because what it says, and when all the people hear his voice, right? Is Yahushua going to say, hey, I'm coming here to beat all y'all up. I'm here to fight all y'all. No, it's going to be the voice, is going to be the sound of that chariot when it pulls up, when it pretty much cracks the clouds. And everybody sees it and it's like, oh, snap, that's the enemy. Let's shoot against him.
Mhm. Because they don't know what the second coming of the Lord is. You know, they've been taught this wishy-washy doctrine. So when
Nice.
the Lord actually comes, they're not thinking that that's the Lord. You know, and
Right.
even if they do, they're still going to fight against them. But the Lord coming back on a big giant spaceship, that's never been taught in Christianity. That's not what their church told them is going to happen. So they're going to look at it as an evil force. But here it is, they're the evil force, and he's the righteous force. See? But it says, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion.
See? So that shows you the what? Who he's coming for. Israel. Another name for or should I say title for Israel is Zion, which means, if I'm not mistaken, going back to Hebrew, to Zion, which is the monument. So he's coming what? To deliver Israel. So Ezra is pretty much saying the same thing that pretty much Yahushua said in Matthew 24 and 30. He shall gather his elect. The elect is what? The elect of the nation of Israel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these next couple verses get heavy too. And Sion shall come and shall be shewed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands.
See, again, mentioning Israel, not anything of a body of believers or, oh, what am I mistaken? If I'm not mistaken, what is that? Supersessionism? Oh, this replaces, the church replaces Israel. No, it has always been all the time Israel, 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 Zion, whatever. that shows you that what the Heavenly Father is going to deliver them. It's not anybody that believes.
That's right. That's right. Reading on, it says, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts. Oh, Salaki, I skipped the verse. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Yep, those wicked nations, the heathen nations. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto fire. Yep, destroy them without labor, effortlessly.
No, I just want verse 39 and 40 just to get that point. Don't got to read all of 40, but just to show you that point that who he's going to gather unto him is Israel. Just
Right.
want 39 and 40. That's about it, or part of 40.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful, yeah. It says, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him.
Right, the peaceable multitude, like what is written of in Revelation 7 and 9, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. Not just the elect, but that the 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that, right? Because again, Ezra is seeing the end, the destruction, right, of Esau, Edom, and his army, these other nations, but he's also seeing the deliverance as well. So who is the Lord delivering? Because essentially what Ezra saw is the return of the Lord, right? Like you see in the title, the return of the king, right? King Yahawashi, and he's also going to see Yahawashi deliver people as well. But who is the Lord going to deliver? Who are those people? Let's see if it is anybody that just believes.
Those are the 10 tribes.
There you go. It's not just the 10, Slakia, not just the 10, but all 12. Because when you go to Revelation, it gives you 12,000 from each tribe, right? That's going to be pretty much the governing body, the 144,000, which is the elect. And that innumerable multitude is also Israel as well. So that's peaceable multitude. It's pretty much Israel. Now here, this part goes into something else, which is pretty much on Israel. The 10 tribes came over here to the Americas. But that peaceable multitude is is the 10 tribes, which who are the 10 tribes? Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows you right there who the Lord is coming back to deliver and save.
Yep. And it's so heavy that it mentions the 10 tribes, because you got to remember at this point in history, Ezra, at that phase in history, the northern kingdom was already removed.
Right.
So it's like your long lost family that you never seen, and they're being mentioned again. That's why it mentions the 10 tribes and not all 12, because obviously he's speaking to Ezra. So, it's assumed that Ezra, the tribes of Judah, Levi, and Benjamin are going to be included, obviously, but it's also to mention to him that, you're going to be reunited with those tribes when the Lord returns. These 10 tribes, which is the Northern Kingdom, like so-called Latino and Native American brothers, and you're seeing an example of it now. You see? I believe you're from the tribe of Benjamin, right, Ak?
Yeah.
Yep. Then I'm from the tribe of Asher. So the Lord reunited us like long lost family, all of the brothers in all the camps, from different countries and different walks of life. And now we're being reunited for what? For this great deliverance that's coming. But I think that was it on this, right?
Yeah. I don't even think we hit some of the precepts that we had, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, man. There was a lot, and we've been going at it. We can still hit a couple more.
Yeah.
You want anything else right now?
I had we had mentioned what was it, Isaiah 31, and I believe it's like the last couple of verses.
Yeah, that second Ezra 13 is a heavy chapter, man. Heavy chapter. Isaiah, and that's why, like the brother was saying, it's good to visualize these things and really picture these things, because it boosts your faith up.
Right. And Lord's willing, the video's been edifying. Lord's willing, Slakia is a little late, had a long day and things like that. So, not trying to be super animated, but Lord's willing, animated enough to explain, pretty much, the the return of the Lord. Again, going into imagine it. It's not just going to be the Lord just pops up and then it's like he's here. No, you got to think about the wind gustling and all that. Think about like with Thanos and Infinity War. The Avengers, they felt something was different. They felt something was off. Like, yo, the wind was gustling. They looking around like this, like what's going on? You may have that when the armies is fighting. They may be shooting each other, but then something is like, yo, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
The wind just comes. It's like then, Yahawashi just cracks the clouds. The ominous sound of chair, all that bright as hell as well. Bright
Mm-hmm.
pulls up and then it's like, yo, what the fuck is that? What the hell is going on? Everybody seeing him, like it says in Revelation 1:7. All eyes shall see him.
Yep. When you go into one thing that I just remembered from what you when you said that, like the way that the earth is going to react to the Lord, it reminded me of Galactus. When you go there, in the 90s, it might have been
Oh,
late 90s, they had the Silver Surfer cartoon.
mm.
And in this, it was a dope cartoon, but they didn't really continue it. But in the Silver Surfer cartoon, the first episode, Galactus comes to the planet that Silver Surfer is on. I forget what it was called. Whatever Silver Surfer's Norin
Nor
Rad, that's his name. But Norin Rad was his original name. It doesn't really matter. But the point being, um, when Galactus pulled up to the planet, the home planet of Silver Surfer, and you brothers could go watch the first episode of the Silver Surfer cartoon from the 90s, and you could see like the whole planet, like the Earth was opening up, lava was, magma was spewing out, like streams and everything. Like the whole planet was basically like, it's like the planet had a bad like a terminal illness, you know like coughing and like farting and you know shitting itself, like pretty much like just complete disarray, like everything turned upside down. So that's like how it's going to be when Yahawashi comes back, man. The earth is going to be, you're going to have volcanoes going off, you're going to have all types of stuff. The earth is going to be reacting to the Lord, and it's going to be very devastating, man. That's why the scripture says there's going to be so few people left when this happens.
if I may say real quick, to add to your point, remember the earth is under Esau Edom's vibration. So it's like when the earth feels, it's like, yo, what the hell is this? This is different. This is something I ain't feeling so long. Like, so it's gonna
Mm.
have naturally like a what's going on here.
Yeah. Right. Well, when you purge out, like when you detox, right? Because Esau is like the poison and the sickness and the cancer that has to get detoxed. When you detox, that's a painful process. Like detoxification is not just, oh yeah, like sunflowers and roses. It's painful, You detox. Look, we can look up detox symptoms. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Mhm.
Detox symptoms. And Yahawashi is the doctor, and he's coming. He's the what's the physician. I'll use a better word, the physician. Um, yeah, okay. Look, it says here. What does it feel like when you are detoxing? Physical withdrawal symptoms may include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, shaking and shivering, sweating. There you have it. So imagine that happened to the globe. The globe is detoxing from the wicked. So naturally, if the earth is sick right now, and in order to detox that is going to be a violent process, going to be a painful process, and you're going to have these symptoms of the travail of and the lamentation of the wicked, and then being eliminated from their seat of power. You're going to have these things happening. You're going to have the earth. You're going to have tsunamis and there's just utter devastation, all on a global level when the Lord Yahawashi returns. But yeah, that was it on that. Like you wanted Isaiah 31, right?
Yeah, and for just basically going to showing you again that these other nations won't be able to pretty much conquer the Lord. The Lord's not going to come in fear. When he first came, he came as a lamb, right? Because he came here to complete part of his mission, but the second part of his mission when he comes back is to deliver, right? And when you want to deliver or save someone, you don't come in a nice, docile, Like, just give me what I want. No, you got to take what you want. And I believe verse 4 of Isaiah 31 explains that. I'll read it. It says, Isaiah 31 and verse 4 says, "For thus hath the Lord spoken unto me, like as a lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof." So again, basically, when you have a multitude, you can liken the shepherds unto these other nations. When these other nations try to fight against the Lord's not going to abase himself. He's not going to be afraid of them, because what the Lord wants to deliver his people. So the same thing, like using that illustration with a lion. When a lion wants his prey and things like that, the lion's not thinking of, oh, the shepherds come with the sticks and the club, like, yo, get out of here. No, the lion roars back at him like, no, I want this food. This is mine. I'm coming to take what's mine. And pretty much that's what the Lord is saying. He's coming back to take his woman, which is his elect. Because I see the way y'all treat my woman. Y'all ain't treating my woman right. Y'all over here trying to do some freaky stuff with my woman. Nah, I'm over here to get my woman back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Esau wants to get freaky with the Lord's wife, pretty much. You know, trying to entice. Now, imagine you enticing a man, and then you find out that the dude is a certified, like the dude is a UFC champion.
Right. Some women will say, oh, my boyfriend crazy. Right.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, you better chill, because, like, you about to find out. And then he's like, nah, man, that nigga ain't doing nothing. Nah, he ain't gonna stop me. Who is this guy? He thinks he's so tough. And then he pulls up, you know, the door of the bar busts open, boom, and everybody get quiet. And he just coming. You hear his boot stepping, boom, 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 and he just looking over there, and you know you fucked up. You know you fucked up at that point.
Or sometimes, they show in the movies, like, oh, who's your boyfriend? Whatever. He's right behind him, and then like he's mad tall. Let's just say like 6'5", 6'7",
Right,
but this dude's like
right.
average height, like 5'9", 5'10". He turns around and he's like, "Oh shit, damn, all right, oh my bad, man. I was just playing. I wasn't serious, And that's pretty much how it's gonna be with the Lord. That's why they're gonna look up and see him. It's like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me, and the Lord gonna be like he's not gonna say this literally, but the sentiment is gonna be so. So tell me again, what did you? What was you gonna do to my wife again? Say it with your chest. As that's how the Lord's gonna come and get his woman, man. But yeah, I was in on that, right?
Yeah. Unless you had another precept, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I did want to bring out Malachi going into how the Lord is going to be the purifier.
Yeah, you can go ahead and talk.
Yep. Yeah, Malachi 3:1. It says, "Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me." And that's referring to John the Baptist, preparing the way for the Lord. Okay, Yahawashi, and the Lord whom ye seek. So okay, so there's this messenger who's preparing the way, and the Lord whom ye seek, right? Shall suddenly come to his temple, right? Which is the elect, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. This is a prophecy of Yahawashi coming. All right. And he is the messenger of the covenant, and he established what? The new covenant by his sacrifice. Now, when he comes back, he's going to lock us into this new covenant, and we're going to be perfect forever. But the point is in the second and the third verses here, all right, because this is going to show you what the Lord is coming back to do. And just like we said, how it's detox symptoms and different things. Well, fire is going to be what detoxes the earth now. All right. And then remember, Yellowstone volcano, and there's going to be other super volcanoes that get set off. Yellowstone is a super volcano in America. Now, do you think that that's just a coincidence? The Lord just has it there, and that's just for no reason. There's obviously a meaning and sentiment of why he put this, one of the biggest, if not the biggest super volcano on earth, right here smack dab in America. I think it's in Wyoming. Here, like when you look up super volcano, right? Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was a little off topic, but it's on topic. Yeah, super volcano. This is the Yellowstone caldera, right? So if you can see it, it shows you these different pictures. Okay, and that's the magma. All right, so this is the biggest super volcano. Okay, look at this. It says, what would happen if Yellowstone super volcano erupted? Now you think the missiles are gonna hit and Yellowstone is not gonna, nothing's gonna happen? That shit is gonna get busted open like a pimple. It says, what would happen if Yellowstone supervolcano erupted? Such a giant eruption would have regional effects such as falling ash in short term, years to decades, changes to global climate. The surrounding states of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming would be affected, as well as other places in the United States and the world.
Wow.
Yeah. It said it could spew ash for thousands of miles. Thousands of miles. And this is just one supervolcano. In addition to the nuclear destruction, and hey, man, and there's many other volcanoes on Earth.
And Slakia, but that also adds to the visual, if I Slakia, to the illustration of what when the Lord destroys America as well, because we usually talk about the obviously the main ingredient, if you will say, which is the nuclear missiles, but then the chariots as well. But then also, like you're going into with this volcano now, like you were saying, it's gonna get popped like a pimple. So pretty much when that's the nukes hit it, the laser beams as well. Don't think that the angel's not gonna know, oh, hit that volcano over there as well. That could do some devastation. They're gonna know to target that area as well, and what that's gonna explode and erupt, and that can also add to the devastation, destruction. Because you said it could shoot out. What was it? If I'm not mistaken, what did you say it could shoot?
It said it would. Okay, it says if the supervolcano underneath Yellowstone National Park ever had another massive eruption, it could spew ash for thousands of miles across the United States and the world.
Oh, damn. Sure. But let's just say, at least talking about America, that magma hits and shoots out certain places. That's going to also add to the people getting melted and things like that.
Yep. And I think they actually showed it in the movie 2012. They showed like this is a monumental occurrence. If this thing goes off, it's like apocalyptic, pretty much.
You said it was 2012.
The movie 2012 show. You ever seen the movie 2012?
It's been a while. I remember watching it, but it's been a while.
Yeah, if you do, I believe they had that. They showed it because it's like a cinematic thing, and then of course the Lord is going to make that happen. Look what it says here. Among other things, they found the volcano was capable of burying states like Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and Colorado in 3 feet of harmful volcanic ash.
That adds to the, what is it, Isaiah 34 shall spread upon the line of confusion. All that happening, you're not going to know where anything is.
Right. 3 feet of 3 feet, bro. If it's 1 foot of snow, that's a lot. 3 feet is like up to here on you. It's like up to the regular man's like chest or stomach area. That's ridiculous, man. And what is it? It's the volcanic ash is a mix of splintered rock and glass.
Wow.
You breathe this in, you're dead. And blanket the Midwest. That much ash could kill plants and animals, crush roofs, and short all sorts of electrical equipment. Ash everywhere. So, and this is like, if you look at this illustration, man, this is crazy because that's like the epicenter right there. And it's showing the ash is going all the way out to Washington, D.C., to New York, to where we are.
Yeah, almost New York. And the Lord could spread it that far, yeah.
Yep, because all of this yellow is ash. And then this is, so okay. Yeah, so it'd be a thinner coat over here, but I mean, and if the Lord really wants to, he can make it even like, he could turn it up and make it even more devastating than this.
Hold up, I'm not seeing it. Hold up. So the center is the blue, right?
Yeah, the blue is the center, and then like outside is the rings. Like the most severe is over here, and then the severity, like okay, out here, this outer ring, then this outer ring, then this outer ring, and then the yellow is still a part of it.
So damn, the Lord could just destroy that and that, because pretty much I'm just not recognizing that pretty much that almost covers all 50 states. Not
Yep.
all, but essentially.
Yep. Only place, only city, only major city that wouldn't feel something. That's according to this. This has never happened. So this is all like, they're giving a projection. There's no way to know for sure, but it says Miami would be uncovered.
Mm.
But I mean, Miami's gonna get hit with a nuke anyway. So hey, man, Esau, you are screwed on every level.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good kind of like, yeah. We kind of just went into this topic of this thing, but it's interesting. Yellowstone hotspot, upper mantle magma. Yeah. So you see all of the magmas under here, and that's just gonna spew out, and all the ash and glass. Like volcanic ash is not just like, all right, ash from a blunt that you niggas like to smoke. Volcanic ash has glass in it and rocks. And they're talking about 3 feet of it being in certain parts of the country when this shit happens. In addition to the missiles, in addition to the chariot beams. You see? But we could go back to it. I think we definitely got the point on that. But just going to show, and this is what the Lord's coming to do. And this is all going to be, because volcanic ash also has a detoxifying effect.
Yeah, I think I remember reading something. It's been a while, but I think I remember reading that, right? Don't people use it for something, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah,
For
it
their
does
skin?
because I think it soaks up like heavy metals in the body. So I
Oh.
think there's something called bentonite clay, which you brothers could look into.
Yes, that's it. Yep, that's it. Yeah, now you remind me. Yep.
Yeah, bentonite clay. So look at this. It says volcanic ash detox. The microscopic volcanic ash particles in volcanic origins penetrate and attach themselves to toxins, impurities, and bacteria. So the Lord is going to blanket like the earth with a lot of this ash. And what does it do? It detoxes things. It absorbs toxins. So that's going to be probably a large part of like the cleanup. So that's a norm. That's a self cleansing thing that the Lord has on earth. If you think about it, it says impurities and bacteria drawing them out for an instant detoxification and tightening action. Molecules in most creams and lotions are not small enough to penetrate this deeply into the skin. Yeah, it says yeah, so even though volcanic ash is deadly, but you see how the Lord is so beautiful, because you're like, all right, volcanic ash is deadly. But in a sense, in a certain way, that they, I guess, yeah, certain types of it, like a fine powder form of it, is actually good for you. Yeah, right here. Look what it says. Is volcanic ash the same as bentonite clay? Bentonite is a very old clay that has been used as a remedy for many things. The fine powder forms when volcanic ash ages. Oh, okay, there it is. So if it ages, then you can
Turns
use
into
it. Yep. It's named after Fort Benton, Wyoming, which has a lot of it, but it's found all over the world. Yeah, that's heavy. So the Lord is going to use that as a detox, and that's all a part of that soap that He's going to use to clean this place up. So that fire and that ash is going to be like a soap. But reading on, Slock, you was going to say something, brother?
Mm-mm.
Malachi 3:2. But who may abide the
Oh,
day of His
gotcha.
coming?
Show your screen, Bob. Sure.
Oh
By the
yeah,
way.
the water, the water. I always forget that. But who may abide the day of His coming? And who shall stand when He appeareth? For He is like a refiner's fire and like fuller's soap. You see, fuller's soap. Yep. So what is that? What is that? We can go into right here. Actually, this is kind of a cool explanation here that I found online. It says refiner's fire and fuller's soap. In comparing himself to these two things, the Lord teaches us a lot about how He purifies us. Right. A refiner of silver. Silver was extracted from ores containing lead, such as lead sulfide or galena. The ore was heated in a fire and the lead sifted out of the ashes. The lead was placed in a dish known as a cupel, which was made of bone ash or clay containing calcium carbonate and heated in a furnace to 1600 to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. When the metal reached the right temperature, the refiner introduced oxygen by blowing air over it through a bellows, which is that thing that they open it and they close it, and that takes like a large amounts of air. Litharge or silver dross would form on the surface of the molten metal, and the refiner would blow or scrape it off, leaving pure silver. Litharge was also absorbed into the cupel as the lead reacted with the calcium carbonate. A refiner would usually apply this process twice, reintroducing lead to the silver so that newly formed litharge could remove any remaining impurities. Right. So it shows you that's how the Lord, that's how the Lord is coming. He's going to purify things by that heat. A fuller of cloth. A fuller's job was to cleanse and whiten cloth. In Jerusalem, the cleansing process took place in a fuller's field outside the city because of the smell. Dirt and oils were removed from the wool so that it would be pure, white, and ready to be dyed if desired. Soap contained alkaline substances such as sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate. So it's like you have acidity and alkalinity, and these soaps would be on the alkaline side of things. Which is known to be good for you. The word alkali comes from kali, the Arabic word for the saltwort or grasswort plant, whose ashes were used for soap. These chemicals, so they would burn these certain plants, and then the ashes would actually be like a cleansing, right? These chemicals remove oil. Well, and then that shows you that when you apply fire to certain things, you can get a soap or something that cleans out of it.
Mm-hmm.
These chemicals remove oil and the dirt that clings to it by combining with the oil molecules to make them water soluble. For many centuries, the process for making soap was a closely guarded secret among select, it says Jewish, but we will apply Israelite families. So we had the sauce when it came to soap. We had the secrets about how to make the best soap. And that's spiritual because the Lord's people are going to be the ones to clean this earth up as well. All right. Starting with our Lord Yahawashi. All right. He's going to come and clean this place up too. So we got the closely guarded secret about the soap that the Lord is about to bring. That's super spiritual, With the cloth soaking in soap and water, the fullers beat or stamped it to remove the impurities, right? And that's another, like, the cleaning process is a violent process. They would like really beat, you got to like beat the dirt off the clothes. And that's how the Lord, there's a two, it's manifold because it applies to us in the sense of the truth purifying us. And, the process of being chastised and spiritually whooped, with the rod, which is the word and the men that the Lord set up to teach. And also on the flip side is that the people of the world, they're just going to get annihilated, because they didn't want to come up under the burden of this truth now, but ultimately it wasn't for them anyways. But it says the Hebrew word for fuller comes from a root meaning to tread. Yeah. So, and then it goes into this. Yeah. The purification process can be harsh and difficult. The trials of this life are not only unavoidable, but also necessary. We must be willing to submit all things to which the Lord seeth to inflict upon us. I don't know where that's from, but it says so that we can become like him. The Lord is with us through our trials, right? So applying it to us, and also applying it on the flip side to these people, the Lord is going to come and clean this earth up. All right. And we're being cleaned by the fire of this truth now. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, which it represents the priesthood. And we know that the priesthood in these last days, when this happens, is going to be for all the tribes. Okay. It says, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. So we are being purged. All right. We are being purged. And when the Lord comes, he's going to purge the earth. All right. But the purging that he's doing is beginning with his sons, purifying us. Lord's will were those men. All right, so that was pretty much it. So you got anything else, brother?
No, that's it for me. Could have went to other things as well, but sometimes it's good to hold back just not to overload the sheep and things like that. Kind of like, overeating, So I
Right.
wanted to get into Isaiah 63, but then when I saw the way the spirit shifted, I was like, yeah, just leave it. Maybe for another time. Because
Yeah.
also, went into Slakia. We went into, the destruction of the armies, but also don't forget, we touched on it, but we didn't get into like Isaiah 63 that goes in pretty much, the Lord coming to who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from
Mhm.
Bosra? Lord come here and destroying America as well.
Yep. Then we kind of like we kind of started to get into that, but spirit switched up. But yeah, well, we'll say Lord's will, we can do a part two and get into that. We'll start with Isaiah 63 and then see where the spirit takes us from there.
Uh,
Yeah, but this knowledge is infinite, so it's always going to keep flowing, keep going. And hey, man, the water for pulling up to the lesson, the water for I know see some brothers had dropped some precepts, so the water for that. Yeah, his brother put a good comment. He said tectonic plates will shift and ash carried by wind and create darkness long enough to kill all crops. Yeah, that's another good point.
yeah,
Yep.
tectonic place. Yeah, we was talking about the shaking. Yeah, when Yahawashi comes. Yeah, and then just the shaking as well, like it says in is that Isaiah 24:20? The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. So yeah, who
Mm-hmm.
knows? Like he's mentioned, those tectonic plates could what that could do. Not only the good it may do for the earth, because we don't know.
Mm, absolutely, bro. Yeah. So, Lord's will. This was edifying. With that, we're going to go ahead and close it out, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Makakwadash. Hey, shalom to the elect. Shalom.